All right, and good evening and welcome. So we're glad that you could join us tonight. Thank you for giving up a Sunday evening. It's starting to rain over where I am at in Burnaby. Where we're going to be walking you through, giving you a bit of a short presentation on the Center for Cooperative Learning. My name is Ed Degson. I'm the Education Director at CHFBC, the Cooperative Housing Federation of BC. And tonight I'm joined with my colleagues, Debbie, Andrea, and Laksh, who will be part of the presentation as well. As I mentioned, we're going to walk you through the new website and the Center for Cooperative Learning, talking a bit more about what the center is about and how we're going to be supporting co-op education. And as I mentioned, we're recording tonight's session that you can review later on. Before we jump in, I just wanted to acknowledge that I'm joining all of you from the traditional unceded and surrendered lands of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh First Nations, colonially known as Burnaby. We're joined by individuals from across the province, so also acknowledging that the First Nations of the territories that you're on, the many housing co-ops and their offices, including the Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, the Wasanich peoples, and the Lekwungen-speaking peoples. If you're open and willing to, if you'd like to share in the chat where you're located from, the First Nations, the Indigenous communities that your housing co-op or your community is part of, please do so in the chat. The plan for tonight is, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about the Center for Cooperative Learning. This may be really new to you, or you may be really familiar with it. I'm going to talk about why we developed it and sharing some of the insights behind that development. I'm actually going to walk through the website, so we're going to give you a live presentation. And then I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Andrea, who's going to talk about some of the new features of the platform, including the new payment options and what you're going to be able to view through the online courses. Lastly, we'll do a bit of a Q&A, a question and answer period, where you can ask any questions you have about the center or any comments that you have after reviewing the new center. Before we begin, I'm going to do a quick poll just to get a sense of your familiarity with the new center. So we're going to launch the first poll. So if you are on a desktop, you may see the window pop up on your screen. Otherwise, if you're on a tablet or on a phone, you may have to minimize your main screen to see the poll in front of you. Okay, I see that people are already answering the poll, so fantastic. So the question is, how familiar are you with the Center for Cooperative Learning? Possible answers are very familiar, or that's why I'm here, to learn more. So looks like we're getting just a few, 70% completed the poll. So I'm just going to give it a few more seconds before I share the results. Okay, great. So there's a bit of a range. So there's a few who are very familiar, and then there's the majority of you that's why you're here, because you wanted to learn more. So that's fantastic. We're really glad for you to be here with us tonight to talk about the new Center for Cooperative Learning. So why did we build this platform? So this has really been many years in the works. When I started with CHFBC, we started talking about a separate website for the education program. And it was because that members were coming to us and saying that sometimes it was really hard to find the resources that they're looking for. And then also, with all the information provided on the CHFBC website. And then also to really hone in on some of the education offerings that we provide. So it was an opportunity for us to deliver a new platform where we can provide education wherever you are at across the province to meet the needs that you have. So our evening together is to go over what the center is all about and to talk more about the offerings within the center. And what does it offer? So the newest feature is the self-paced online courses. You may be familiar with one of them right now. So there's two courses, one version of the Co-op Housing Essentials, and then one for the Community Land Trust co-ops. version of that same course. Many more are being developed along in the coming months. So do stay tuned, and we'll give you a link later to access our e-news so that you can register. Many of the resources that you've come to be familiar with, like our templates and our job descriptions and our policy, our meeting tools, they're now on the new Center for Cooperative Learning. So I'll walk through the website and show you where they're at and how to access them. But then also there's going to be a new calendar for our education events. So the new center is where you're going to be registering for our events and our regular workshops. I see that there's some messages in the chat as well. So please, if you have any questions along the way, please put them in the chat. I'll try to answer them along the way. Otherwise, we'll hold them off till the end of the session during the Q&A. As I mentioned, my colleague Andrea will be navigating through showing you what to expect when you log into an online course. I'll be going through the resource catalog and showing you what's available, and then also the events and workshop sections and our FAQs. So just in case that, if you have any questions as you navigate through the website. So when you first register for a course, so our new online courses are on a new platform called Thinkific. So that's where we've used to develop our new online courses. So when you're registering for a workshop or a course, you'll be prompted through a transaction to make your transaction and then register to create an account through Thinkific. So don't be concerned that you're being transported to another website. You're still we're trying to make sure that the look and feel is very consistent between the center website and then the Thinkific learning platform. We'll go through how to access those workshops and courses just shortly. So now I'm going to share we're going to go into the website, and I'm going to just go through it just in case you haven't had a chance yet. So I'm going to share my screen and go through the website. So the new Center for Cooperative website is the URL is cooplearning.ca. So here on your screen, you'll see I'm on the landing page. The messaging behind the center is that it's really delivering learning where you're at. So I know everybody's busy, so we're hoping that our online courses are able to be really effective for you, because you can access them at your own pace, and you can pause and return to those courses as you need and when you have time. The resources are all there. We have some new resources that I'll also talk about, and so you can peruse them at your leisure. And then our events and workshops as well. So I'll go through them one at a time. So the first one I'll go through is the resources. So you'll see here the top menu bar. You can navigate through the different types of resources. They're listed by category. You can also search resources at the bottom of the main landing page, and you can search by category as well, or search by theme. So for example, if I'm going to choose co-op living and then just search, if you scroll, actually, let me let's look at financial resources and then search. Oh, just not. So let's look at, oh, there we are. So that was the financial resources, and then what will appear are all the filtered resources available. So you just have to scroll down, and then our new search engine will show all the results for you. The resources themselves we have two options. So you can click on sample and to view them before to see if that's something applicable to you. Or if you want to download them for your own to your own desktop, you can download the template. So let's look at some of the resources. So many of you who are living in housing co-ops, and I know some of you in tonight's session are not living in a housing co-op. So And just a note that all our resources are tailored for housing co-ops in BC. So those who are joining us tonight, that's outside of BC, please take a note of that, because some of the resources may not be applicable to you. Please do make sure that any resources you're checking with your own rules, especially for the co-op, your own co-op rules, but especially if you are from outside BC, and make sure that it's applicable according to your local legislation or bylaws. So this is you may be familiar with our previous model rules section. We tried to give a refreshed look to it. So you can see here, we still have the different stages for the model rules, so you can just look them as well. But I also wanted to just highlight some of the new resources available on our Center Cooperative website. So they're under this financial controls section. It's a new, these are all new according in the last few months. And this is just to help your co-op to think about some of the financial controls that you might want to consider implementing at your co-op. The other set of resources that you may not be familiar with are the meeting tools. So you can also see that here, and they're categorized by different types of meetings. So AGMs or semi-annual general meetings or town halls. Okay, I don't see any questions on the resource, so I'll just keep going and then see if there's any others later on. As I mentioned, we also, the new Center Cooperative website is also where you're going to be accessing our new events and resources. So just want to highlight that our Fall Education Conference is coming up on October 18th. So we already have so here's a bit of a introduction to that, but you can learn more about the conference there as well. So let's look at some of the workshops coming up. So this is the introduction to the center. So we wanted to have this webinar before we launched the registration page for the fall workshop series. So they're already listed here. So if you haven't had a chance yet to see what's available for September, please have a look. You can see that when you click on one of the workshops, a new page opens, and it's a Thinkific page. We're hoping that it provides you a bit more information than we had before. It provides you a bit more of a summary of the facilitator, and then also what to expect. The newest feature within the event pages is where you can register now. So my colleague Andrea will talk more about that during her presentation. So that's the events and workshops. And then also the last thing I just want to highlight is the portable workshop. So if you're not able to attend our scheduled workshop series, but your co-op wants to have one at your co-op, whether online or in person, the listing for workshops are still available. Just click under find the events workshops and click the portable workshops, and the listing are available there. You can also search by category. So like community or management, and they're all there. So without further ado, I just also want to talk about our the newest feature of the center, which is the online courses. So as I mentioned in the introduction, we're using a platform called Thinkific to deliver these online courses. So right now, there's two courses available to all of you, and they're free. So there are two versions of the same course. So the first one is the Housing Co-op Essentials. So if you're what we call a classic co-op, so there's co-ops that were previously developed under the Section 95 program or Homes BC or ILM. This would be applicable to you. And then a version for the CLT co-ops is slightly different from that. You'd want to choose that if that applies to you. So when you click on that course, you'll be transported to the Thinkific site. So again, we tried to make sure that the look and feel remains the same. In the course, you're going to be following the path of Sam, as he learns about his new community. And he's going to be joined by a member who will explain a little bit more about the housing co-op. So it's a fantastic way to introduce new members at your co-op, or maybe to refresh the memory of and knowledge of those members who have been at your co-op for some time. So really do encourage you to invite members of your co-op to have a look at the new Center for Cooperative Learning and see sign up for one of our online courses. I think now I just want to also, before I hand it over to Andrea, I'm going to launch one more poll, and it's just to get a sense of if you're familiar with the online course. So I'm going to post that on your screen. And so the question is, have you enrolled in our newest online course, Co-op Housing Essentials? Okay, so just about 70% completed the poll. So I'm just going to keep it for a few more seconds and then share the results. I'm going to share the results of the poll. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. So so that's great. Some of you have already taken it, excellent, but some of you haven't, and some of you just need time. So that's fine. It's like I just mentioned, it's free. It's available for you to access anytime. And do let us know once you complete it, and share your feedback with us. All right. So the last thing I'm just going to mention is the if you have any questions. So I'm going to go back to this website. So if you have any questions on as you go navigate through the Center for Cooperative Learning, whether it's so on the main page at the very top of the screen, you'll see contact button. Once you click that, you'll see a new page where you'll see these two forms. One is the education general questions form, and the other is the co-op and resource questions. So any questions you have about the new center or the website or the resources, please use the education with general questions. And the other form, if you have any questions about your co-op, so for example, a governance question or a question about one of the templates or resources, or if you have any just general questions about your housing co-op, you can use the co-op and resource questions contact form. And that will be our dedicated staff team will respond to those questions. We usually try to respond them within 1 or 2 business days, and then we'll get your answers to you. So now I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Andrea to go over what to expect inside that course, and then also talk about the new payment options for the workshops courses. So over to you, Andrea.
Oh, thank you so much, Ed. I will quickly show you a video of what it looks like inside a course. So here we go.
Hi, and welcome. In this quick video, I'll walk you through what it looks like inside a course on the Center for Whether you're brand new, want a quick preview, this guide will help you feel confident and ready to dive in. Once you're logged in and registered for the course, click on My Dashboard. There, you'll see all the courses that you signed up for. In this case, find Housing Co-op Essentials, click on Start Course if it's your first time, or Replay Course if you completed it before and want to revisit it. On the left-hand side, you'll see a menu bar that shows your progress to the course. If you prefer to listen, click the speaker icon to hear the narration. If you'd rather read along, click on the transcript icon to view the full audio script. Audio and transcript options are only available for some parts of the course. Each time you finish a page, scroll to the bottom and click Complete and Continue button. That marks the lesson is done and it takes you to the next step. Don't worry, you can always go back and review any lesson, even if you already marked it as complete. Many lessons include interactive elements to help keep things engaging. This might include clickable images or icons. When you click, extra information might appear next to the image or in a pop-up card. Just click the X to close when you're done. Another interactive element is flip cards. Just click on the flip card and view the content on the back. We also have knowledge checks. At the end of each lesson, you'll see a short quiz. This might include true and false, a choose all that apply quiz, and a sorted activity. We've designed these features to help reinforce what you're learning in a fun and accessible way, and we're always looking to improve, so you might see even more interactive features in future courses. We build these courses to work well across all devices. You can take your course on a mobile phone, tablet, laptop, or desktop, whatever works best for you. The platform is designed to be flexible, responsive, and accessible, so you can learn at your own pace, wherever you are. That's it for this quick tour and what's inside the course. We hope it gives you the confidence to jump in and start learning. If you ever have questions or need help, we're always here to support you. Just email us at hello@cooplearning.ca.
All right, that was a tour of our course. I hope that got you excited, and actually for those who have not taken it before, got you excited to look into that and take it. Now I will walk you through, oh, sorry, one second. Now I'll walk you through what our payment options are. It's also a video, so just give me one second.
Hi and welcome. In this video, we'll walk you through the different payment options the Center for Cooperative Learning offers to housing co-ops across BC. This way, your co-op can choose the option that works best for your community. The first option is individual payment with a credit card. The second, individual members using a coupon code from the board. In this first option, a co-op member pays for their own registration using their credit card. Here's how it works. On the main page for the Center of Cooperative Learning, click on Events and Workshops tab. Then, click on Upcoming Events and choose the workshop you'd like to attend. In this case, we're choosing What Makes a Good Board. Click Learn More. Now that you're on the event page, click Register Now. When you get to the payment page, fill out your credit card information and click on Complete Purchase. After that, you'll receive an email with your receipt and all the workshop details, including the Zoom link. You can also use the receipt to request a reimbursement from your board if you've received prior approval. It's quick, secure, and you're all set to go. In the second option, your co-op gets a code from CHIBC in advance, and members use a coupon code to register at no cost to them. You will need to get a code from the board before registering for the workshop. Here's how it works. Once you've selected the workshop you would like to attend and are on the payment page, click on I have a coupon. Paste the coupon you've received from the board and hit apply. Then click Complete Purchase. And that's it. You'll get your registration email confirmation. How it works for the co-op board or management company. They need to email CHFBC at events@cooplearning.ca to request a coupon code. Then, CHFBC will invoice your co-op for the total number of codes used. It is important to know there are separate codes for workshops and for courses. And those are the payment options available for co-ops through the Center for Cooperative Learning. If you have any questions, please email us at hello@cooplearning.ca. We're here to make it as easy as possible for members to start learning.
This is
Andrea. So yeah, so these are the newest features of accessing our workshops, the credit card and the payment code. And this is why we had this webinar, because we really want to make sure that everyone knows about these new features, and that we'll be releasing some communication out tomorrow to go out to all any members who have registered for workshops in the past, and then as well as to the boards and management companies. So that they're aware, because we want to make sure that you're all registered for the workshops that you want to attend in the fall. So I think now we're just gonna go back to the presentation, and if you have any questions about the payment options and how it's gonna work, we'll go through that in the Q&A. So you can imagine, so we just want to make sure we're just sharing a bit of the tips for all of you. So those online courses, especially the Co-op Housing Essentials, it's a great way for you to embed in as part of the board training. They're really are the basic co-op information about how a co-op operates and how they function, and introduces members to what the board does and what are the responsibility of members. So really, the Co-op Housing Essentials is a really great way for making sure that members have that foundational knowledge. So you can include that in your board training or orientation for new members, and maybe consider for those co-ops that have open houses before selecting members, something to play during a session, during one of those open houses, and then as well sharing a bit of that education piece during your members meeting. So you could do a clip of some of the lessons in the courses and sharing that with your members. So now we want to hear from you. So I'm just going to pause the recording at this stage, and then we'll continue afterwards. But
you'll go in and sign up for either paying option of paying by your credit card or getting that coupon code from your board. So please make sure if you see anything that we're all starting again. We took a break for the summer. Now we're back to doing them. And again, it's every Thursday, 6 to 8:30. We'll have a different workshop with a different facilitator. Okay, and here's our upcoming event. So please save the date. If any of you are from the interior, we're making a trip to the interior to visit our co-ops up there. We also have the Century of Cooperation Awards coming up on October 2nd. You can, if your age and the number of years that you've been in the co-op equal 100, then you're eligible for a Century of Cooperation Award. You can either nominate yourself or you can nominate someone else in your co-op. You can go on the website. I believe that's the CHFBC website, not the CCL website, and get the forms from there and just send them in. The Fall Education Conference, October 18th. Please note that registration will not be on this page. It will be the same registration that we have been using in the past. So that you'll see a difference, because it's just with the conferences and stuff, there's so much information and everything that we're going to still use the same platform as we're using before. So it's not a huge change for everybody. Of course, our Island Council meeting's coming up on October 22nd, and of course, our CHFBC AGM on November 16th. So please don't miss those ones. Please send a delegate to your AGM, to the AGM, to make sure that you're keeping up with everything that's going on at CHFBC. And also, our Fall Education Conference is in person only. It's our only in person only conference that we do. All the other ones are hybrid. We have 10 workshops, I believe, going to happen. So there'll be 5 in the morning and 5 in the afternoon, as well as plenaries and a lunch program. So if you can send somebody to come, that would be lovely. So again, if you have any questions, you can email us at hello@cooplearning.ca or give us a call. I'm guessing most of you know us. So if you have anything, if you want to get a portable workshop, you can email me directly, or Andre or Ed or whoever you would like. If you're having issues, please with the website, please email hello@cooplearning.ca. Okay. Of course, we're on all of the social media, so if you see us there, or we post quite regularly, so if you want to be part of that, you can find us on there. And we very much thank you for the participation, and please keep an eye out for the webinar evaluation. And again, we thank you for coming, and thank my colleagues for such a great job. If you have any further questions before you leave, we're more than welcome to answer them before you go. Again, thanks everybody. We really appreciate you.